Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hello, everyone. You are listening to Xavier Knights Football, streaming live on the YouTube channel. You will listen to the national anthem, and then we will get things started. Let's go. On a chilly night, Halloween evening at Aviator, the Xavier Knights play a football doubleheader. The JV squad begins their hopes of a playoff championship run in their first playoff game, and the varsity team looks to end their regular season on a high note with one final win. Happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to South Brooklyn. I'm Josh Wolliver, getting set for the JV kickoff in a matter of moments between the Xavier JV Knights and the Kellenberg Memorial Firebirds. Kellenberg won the toss. They elected to defer. Xavier will get the football to start things off in what should be an energetic matchup of the CHSAA AA playoffs first round. Xavier sends Quincelakis and Cole Manfredo back deep to receive. And for Kellenberg, they will need a holder to plant the kickoff on what is a very windy day at Aviator. Gusts up to 50 miles an hour in Brooklyn after a storm tore through New York City yesterday afternoon. These teams are ready to play some Halloween football, though. Finn Hastings has it planted for him by Brett Keeley. And here we go. We are off with a doubleheader. Manfredo lets it bounce. It goes right through his hands and into the end zone for a touchback, and that is how the Knights offense will start, led by an interesting quarterback rotation. Most of the time, you'll see Marcello Vitale out there, but this is a run-first offense, and especially on a windy day, you don't expect to see too much passing. Sometimes you'll see Matt LaSquadra, number 3, back there to throw it, but again, expect a lot of plays on the ground here as Xavier starts. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 12-minute quarters, and they line up in the classic single-wing offense. Kellenberg's front, led by a lot of big guys. They show 5 at the line off the jump. Direct snap. This is Manfredo running near side. Picks up a block, but is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he stepped out of bounds right around the 21-yard line. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. Not much. Kellenberg closed quick, forced him out of bounds. Brett Keeley was there in pursuit. The big thing today is going to be both lines, offensive and defensive. Kellenberg has a lot of big guys to play around their line, especially it gets highlighted by number 71, Daniel Barriott, 6'4", 250. He is one of the main run stuffers for this Firebirds defense. He should have a huge role today in trying to slow down this Xavier offense, who also has their fair share of big guys up front. Planted by the center, number 79, Brendan Rudolph. The snap goes to Vitale, who fumbles it a little bit off the jump. Pyle pushes forward for a gain of 3 or 4. Sets up third down and short. Xavier does a good job picking up a couple chunk plays on first and second down. Flips the sign over to third down and 2 at the 28-yard line. Big chance to convert for Xavier, a team that is aggressive on fourth downs, but it should be interesting to see where they stand if they don't get this. How aggressive Coach Sal Vitale is on the opening drive. Third down and 2. Kellenberg trying to get off the field, force a stop. Manfredo and Vitale in the backfield for Xavier. They bunch it up on the left. They go heavy. Direct snap. Manfredo up the middle. Has first down yardage to the 31-yard line. Chains move. Pickup of 4 to the 32-yard line. Well done by Manfredo. Right up the gut. Burst of speed and a good job blocking by the guys up front. Picks up a gain of 3, moves the sticks, continues to move it forward. So the fresh set of downs, and again, the gusts are roaring here at Aviator. Probably why you see a little bit less of a crowd, but there's still some people filing in. Might see a bigger draw for the varsity game. Manfredo has it on an end around coming this way. Salakis bounces it to the outside. Shakes a tackler. Bulldozes another man up through the 47-yard line. Pickup of 15 on the misdirection. Little shovel pass right up front to Quinn Salakis, who bursts to the inside. Pickup of 15. Another first down, Xavier. Good play design and even better executed. The offensive line shifts, couple key blocks by the guys up front. They continue to move it. And nice job by Salakis bouncing it to the outside. And a good job up front setting the edge. First down and 10 up near midfield. Snap from the 47. Xavier needs the Kellenberg 43 for a first down. Marcello Vitale takes it himself up the middle, gain of maybe 2. A yard shy of the 50, and now a flag comes out after the play. Looks like there was some pushing and shoving on the first drive of the game. There's a Kellenberg man. That's Andrew Wallbacker slow to get up. He's hobbling back to his safety spot. We'll see what the call is. Still no signal I've seen from the referees yet. I wonder if it's offsetting penalties. And it's a dead ball personal foul against Kellenberg. That's big. It'll move up the Knights 15 yards with an automatic first down. So a 2-yard run turns into a net of 17 when you tack on the penalty. Xavier gets the ball all the way up to the Kellenberg 38, well on the other side of midfield, and the Knights are marching here early. Xavier loads up the inside of the left. Vitale takes it himself again, spun down at the 35. Brent Keeley came up from behind to make a nice tackle by the shoes. But also, there was a couple good blocks there that could have sprung Vitale free. But again, good tackle by Keeley, keeps him in front. The two-way man from Lynbrook makes probably a first down saving tackle. There was a big hole open. 2nd and 8, though. Xavier doesn't get much on first down. Same thing how they started the last series before the unnecessary roughness moved them all the way up. Snap from the 35. They jump shift right to left, and that's a jump off sides. Xavier will get a free 5 yards. Daniel Burriot, someone who we highlighted in the pregame as one of the game-wrecking, big-time defensive interior linemen, is now going to come off the field as a substitute because he jumped 5, sets up 2nd down and about 3 for Xavier. So that is 20 penalty yards from Kellenberg on the opening part of this opening drive. Xavier jump shifts again. Kellenberg able to stay disciplined. Direct snap. Looks like Manfredo shakes free of a tackler, plunges ahead, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Manfredo was met with 2 tacklers in the backfield, shrugged both of them off. But then the Firebirds swarmed to the football. 3rd down and maybe 3 from the 30. Xavier needs the 27-yard line. Gavin D'Alessandro for the Firebirds. Another key piece for them was shaken up on the play. He is shaking his left hand, and now the Xavier training staff will go try and catch up with him. D'Alessandro maybe lost feeling in that hand. Couple substitutes on for Kellenberg now. Knights need to figure out a way to reset. They've got a big-time 3rd down and 3 coming up. Likely looking at 4-down territory here on the opening drive. Kellenberg looking for a stop to turn things over. 3rd down and 3, a crucial one for Xavier. Again, Manfredo and Vitale in the backfield. Goes to Manfredo on the misdirection. Kellenberg sniffs it out. No room to work for Quinn Salakis. They already tried it once in this drive. Quinn Sachari shut it down for Kellenberg. Loss of 3 on the play. 4th down and 8. Xavier's going to keep the offense out on the field. What a play by Kellenberg. They tried the same thing that Xavier picked up 17 on earlier in the drive. Kellenberg says not again. Big-time tackle to blow it up in the backfield. 4th down and 7. Again, the Knights' offense stays out on the field too long for a field goal kick. No reason to punt it at this point. But again, a big chance for Kellenberg to get a stop and turn things over. 4th down and 8. Valerio joins the packed backfield with Vitale. Xavier loads it up on the near side. They jump shift right to left. Kellenberg stays disciplined. 4th down snap. They have trouble with it. Manfredo able to shake free, but not do enough. Tackled 2 yards short. The Firebirds with a big defensive stand on the opening possession, and they turn Xavier away on 4th down. Trouble immediately off the snap. Manfredo and Vitale with a little bit of miscommunication, and a promising Xavier drive that opened up with a big chunk play. Stalls out at the 40, turned over on downs, and now Kellenberg's chance to make their first impact on this game. Knights defense looking for a stop, looking for a way to keep the score right where it is, tied. For Kellenberg's offense, their quarterback, Braden Fairley, takes the snap. Oh my goodness, he fumbled it. Picks it up, throws right, caught, tackled on the spot, no gain. In fact, a loss of 3. The ball came out. Xavier claiming they have it. Referees signal he was down. No fumble, but my goodness, destruction for Kellenberg on their opening offensive snap. Fairley could not handle the snap. And immediately, looks like this wind and this windy, cold environment at Aviator could be playing a factor. They bring a running back into the backfield this time. Looks like it's Cooney motions right to left. Handoff up the middle. Nice stiff arm, but shut down right where it was. Or no, he breaks free. How did he do it up to the 40-yard line for a Kellenberg first down? Xavier had him wrapped up in the backfield. Billy Murtaugh, the captain, missed a tackle in the backfield. Big run for Doug Christalis, the running back. Shook off a couple of tacklers, pick up a 15, move the chains to the 40. Xavier had a chance to make a 3rd down and a half mile. Kellenberg shakes out of it. 1st down and 10 at the 40. Quick snap, fake, Fainley running this way, sets the edge, gets free at the 50, at the 40, still running at the 30, down to the 20, brought down at the 15-yard line. It goes for 35 yards. Braden Fairley doing it himself on the ground. Flag is down back at the 45-yard line, though. And the chain gang is backing up, so all for nothing. Kellenberg is going to get nothing out of this. Looks like a holding penalty is going to back him up 10. Flag came down, and that erases a 35-yard run play. And wow, what a momentum shift as now Kellenberg backs up and they're behind the sticks. My goodness. Kieran McBride had a chance on Fairley right at the edge. Could not make a shoestring tackle, and that freed him up for a gain down to the 15, but to no avail. Yep, this ball is going to continue to be backed up all the way to the 33-yard line. Kellenberg splits 4 either side. Near side slot is Wallbacker. Snap, handoff, up the middle, shake and bake, fumble, ball's out, Xavier has it at the 40-yard line. Kieran McBride fell on it. Doug Crystal has lost it. Xavier retakes right where they left off. That ball popped out seemingly with no rhyme or reason. He just dropped it. Xavier takes over, one of the easier fumble recoveries you'll see at the 40-yard line. Knights take over, and they got their offense set up in prime position. 1st down and 10 in plus territory for Xavier. And the defense comes up with the fumble recovery they were looking for. After what looked like Kellenberg was set up deep into Xavier territory, into the red zone, a holding call brings that play back, and on the next snap, they fumble it away. Xavier's offense takes back over. 1st down and 10 at the 40 in plus territory. They bunch it up on the right side near Vitale. It's Manfredo, takes a snap, powers ahead, Manfredo breaks free at the 30, the 20, shoved out of bounds down near the 23-yard line. Manfredo with a huge burst of speed, great hole off the opening, picks up 18, 1st down Knights. They spotted at the 28. He must have had a shoe out earlier. But a big burst by Manfredo brings the Knights 8 yards shy of the red zone. Leo Etten into the game. He goes to the right. Again, it's Manfredo. Again, a hole. Slips a tackler. Manfredo to the near side again. Down near the 10-yard line. Gets tackled at the 9. 1st down and goal, Xavier. Manfredo's 2nd big run in a row. On 2 snaps, he picks up 30 yards. 2 Knights 1st downs and gets a much-deserved breather. Matt Castro into the game now, along with Vital back into the huddle. 1st down and 10. Xavier will snap it from the 10. It's goal-to-go situation. Kellenberg's defense trying to stiffen up like they already have once. Rudolph to Vital, runs right and gets dumped in the backfield. Tackled on the spot by Brett Keeley, who has been all over this football game. Loss of a yard on the play. It's now 2nd and goal from the 11. Salakis re-enters for Xavier, but Xavier going to try and get some chunk yardage here on 2nd goal to set up 3rd down and manageable. Now you're super curious if they're willing to go for it on 4th down from here. They might not trust the kicking game in this weather. And there's another tackle behind the line of scrimmage. They tried Manfredo to the near side again. The Firebirds were all over it. Another loss of 2. 3rd down and 14. Goal to go situation. Xavier set up 1st and 10 at the 10. They lose yardage in back-to-back plays to set up a crucial 3rd and 14. Again, we're not sure if they'll roll the dice and go for it. The sun peeks out behind the clouds. Can Xavier punch it in? Can they get the emphatic finish to a drive they were looking for, but they couldn't execute on the first? Can they make up for it and take the opening lead here in the postseason? Looks like a delay of game signal might back this up even more now. It is the end of the first quarter. When Xavier comes back, it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 14. We'll take a break. Step aside. Stay here. You're listening to Xavier Knights Football. We are back to open up the beginning of the second quarter. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 14-yard line for the Knights offense. First quarter was an interesting one. There was no score. Xavier had a long, emphatic first drive, but then they got turned away on 4th down at the 30-yard line. Kellenberg took over, had a promising play down towards the red zone that got called back on a flag. Then they fumbled on the next snap. 3rd down and 14 for the Knights offense. They're moving right to left here in the second quarter. Marcello Vital and Cole Manfredo. It's a handoff inside. Salakis can't break free. Lost 5, 21. Gang of Firebirds in there. Doug Crystalis, who fumbled, makes up for it with a big tackle. Brett Keeley again. 4th down and 21 coming up. Or 4th down and 16, rather, coming up. The offense will stay out on the field, is what it appears to look like. 4th and 21. Xavier is end zone or nothing at this point. They're looking for a touchdown here on the opening drive, and that should tell you just about all you need to know about how Coach Sal Vital feels about his kicking game in this weather. 4th down. Matt LaSquadro into the game as the passing quarterback for the first time. It's a dual quarterback backfield. LaSquadro rolls right to pass, throws back in the end zone. It's caught! Salakis has it! Touchdown, Xavier! They roll the dice on 4th down and they get it. Xavier has the opening score of the playoffs. It's a beautifully designed play. LaSquadro rolls right, and Salakis squeaks out the backside. All the attention was on the big tight end, Kieran McBride. He was a decoy, and it was a wide open reception for Salakis. All he had to do was secure it to put the Knights up 6. They bring the offense back out onto the field to go for 2. And Xavier is able to finish off their opening drive of the game. Can they add on the extra points snapped from the 3? LaSquadro again into the game. This time they spread it out. McBride and Heslin the two top targets on this team in the passing game. Another dual quarterback backfield set. Salakis in motion. LaSquadro takes it. Flag down. False start. Back up the Knights. And this try is now going to be happening from the 8-yard line. And that is enough for Coach Sal Vitale to say, okay. He sends out his place kicker, Sean Brophy, product of Dublin, Ireland, to try and get the extra point. LaSquadro will hold. So the false start was enough for the Knights to say, all right, we'll take the bird in the hand and try for the point with Brophy instead. Snap from the 8, held from the 15. 25-yard kick for the extra point. Clean snap, spot, hold, kick is up, and it is perfect. Brophy drills it into the back fence. 7-0 Xavier lead. A well-executed drive and a perfect extra point to tack one on. 7-0 Knights. They get the opening score of the CHSAA AA Playoffs Round 1. We'll take a break, step aside. When we come back, Kellenberg gets their next chance on offense. Interesting setup with how Xavier does the place kicking. It is Amir Dragovic to do the kickoffs. Sean Brophy, who you just saw nail the extra point, usually does place kicking and punting, but that can fluctuate. An interesting dual kicker dynamic here. Dragovic will kick from the 40, back deep to receive for Kellenberg, Arcuni, and Pagila. Again, the ball has to be held due to the windy conditions. It's a big kick with a leg, goes through the hands of Cooney and rolls out of the back of the end zone. Touchback, Kellenberg has it to start at the 20. Xavier's defense, who just forced a turnover on the last drive, gets their next chance to step up, and now they're playing with a lead. This team, or this unit rather, has the chance to make their mark on this game, try and set the offense up for another chance to extend the lead. 7-0 Knights, opening moments of the second quarter. They scored on the second play into the second quarter was the touchdown. Now Kellenberg's opening chance in the second frame. Fairley in the shotgun with Crystalis next to him. They spread out 3. Fairley hands. Doug Crystalis gets a block to the outside and gets forced out of bounds after maybe 3. Good tackle by Billy Murtaugh, the captain. Forced him out of bounds right around the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Be interesting to see. Fairley is praised for his passing ability. The coaches, and even the Xavier coaches, acknowledged how good Kellenberg's passing game was. But again, with the windy conditions, you never know. And they've been pretty conservative so far. Let's see if and when that changes. They got 2 receivers to the near side. Tight end in there is Keeley, the two-way man. Fairley takes the snap, going to run it himself on the left. Stiff arms a man and gets blown up right around the 25-yard line, maybe 26. Pick up a 4, 3rd down and 4. Another chance for the Knights to get off the field. 3rd down and 4, opening minutes of the second quarter. Fairley still has yet to complete a pass for positive yardage. They spread 3 out near side. Slot near is Wallbacker. Fairley motions, gets hand signals from the sideline, maybe a change of play. Calls it out to his line. 3rd down and 4. Knights show 5 at the front. They bring 6. Fairley keeps it himself. He's blown up. He got pumped at the 29-yard line. Kellenberg's going to be a yard short. Huge hit on Fairley. He got lifted forklifted and placed down. 4th down and 1. Kellenberg's offense will stay out there unsurprisingly, not wanting to give Xavier the football back with a chance to make it a 2-score lead. Firebirds show confidence in their offense. They only need about 3/4 of a yard. Snap from the 29, they need the 30. Should be interesting to see if Kellenberg reverts back to the run game or if they try the pass game. Xavier has the box all stacked up. There's 8 up front. Now they drop 4 into coverage. Xavier brings the house, handoff up the middle. He got there. 1st down. Crystalis able to move the chains. Pickup of 3 to the 32-yard line. Xavier had a chance on 4th down. Cannot pick up or cannot stop the 1 yard they needed to turn it over on downs. Firebirds able to escape with the chains moved and a fresh set of downs. That's huge for them. They did not want to give Xavier the football back right by the red zone. Again, a chance to make it a 2-score game. Fairley, shotgun snap, handoff coming near side. Xavier's all over it. They swarm him in the backfield for a loss on the play. Looks like Billy Murtaugh again leading the charge. Quinn Sakari tried to bounce it near side, wasn't able to. Started on the far hash marks, couldn't bring it on the near side. Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11. Ball snap from the 32-yard line. Substitutions here. Keeley comes into the game. Or, excuse me, that's not Keeley. Wallbacker, rather. The wide receiver comes into the game. D'Alessandro, the big-time 6'1", 180-pound man, lines up near side. He still has yet to get the ball today, so should be interesting when that happens first. Hastings is lined up far side. Timeout called, though, by Kellenberg. They'll try and sort things out, what they want to do ahead of this 2nd down. We'll take a quick break, step aside. Right back to Xavier Knights football when we return. Beautiful temperatures on a Halloween evening. There is a lot of people bundled up here because of the wind, but just feeling the air outside. It's a nice, chilly, frisk, but not too cold. Probably mid-50s here in New York City. Kellenberg's got it, 2nd down and 11 from their own 33-yard line. Fairley takes the shotgun snap, keeps it himself, runs left, he's got a hole, picks up a block in midfield. There goes Fairley inside Xavier territory, down to the 39-yard line. Big-time blocks from the offensive line. Kellenberg gets their first big chunk play of the day. 1st down and 10 Firebirds. They line up quickly to go in the hurry-up offense. Fairley has D'Alessandro near side, wide out. Fairley keeps it again. Xavier, another slip tackle, pickup of about 9, maybe 10, all the way down to the 29-yard line. And the sidelines are marching alongside their teams. Pickup of another 10. 2nd down in inches at the 30-yard line. So Fairley with back-to-back snaps picks up well over 50 yards on 2 plays. Knights defense trying to reorchestrate themselves, and clearly Kellenberg's timeout there worked, whatever the coach said. Fairley motions. Hands off. Up the middle. There goes Crystalis. Down inside the red zone to the 10. Key holes on the offensive line freed up. Whole team's high-fiving number 55, Kieran Markey, for a big-time block over at that left guard position to free up Crystalis to just keep on going. 3 plays have taken Kellenberg from their own 30-yard line down to the Xavier 10 in a prime position, lined up first down and goal. And now Coach Sal Vitale wisely takes his first time out of the half. Xavier, in the last 3 plays, it has been unmitigated destruction defensively. Missed tackles, missed assignments, big runs on 3 straight plays. So Xavier going to try and get reorganized here before a key first down and goal snap from Kellenberg. This is nothing like the Firebirds offense we saw in the opening drive. It was a lot of short runs, try to set up third down and short, and now they have figured out that explosive play hatchet, and they are using it to their advantage right now. And how about Fairley? As much as he's praised as a passing quarterback, has been able to take off like a rocket on this drive so far. And Xavier's defense has come up with nothing for it yet. Let's see if they can get the vital stop they need. Fairley takes the snap, handoff. Crystalis picks up 3, maybe 4. Forward progress shows them up around the 6-yard line. So it is about 3 or 4. 2nd down and 6. 2nd down and goal to go. Xavier's big defensive front looking for answers on the interior. They turn to Gabe Gonzalez-Morales and a couple of other guys. Or rather, Gabe Gonzalez, and referees are going to blow their whistle. Looks like a reset of the game clock, maybe. Now they will run the clock. 2nd down and 7. Fairley takes the snap, runs left, dances free, he's in! Touchdown, Kellenberg! The response is there. Firebirds have the touchdown. Fairley does it himself the whole drive and punctuates it with a 7-yard touchdown run, and they're within a point of tying this thing up. Beautifully done by Fairley, beautifully done by the offensive line the entire drive. And now they'll line up to kick it with Finn Hastings, who's also the wide receiver, to try and tie this game up with the point after attempt. They're kicking into the wind right now. High snap, and it gets fumbled by Fairley. He gets drilled. Ball is out. Finn Hastings is able to fall on it back near the 20-yard line. But a disaster operation for the Firebirds keeps the Xavier lead at 1. They cannot coordinate the snap right. And an all-around disaster stemming from a very high snap. So the Firebirds get the touchdown they were looking for. They get in the end zone with Fairley, but cannot tie this thing up and ultimately fall a point shy around the midway point of the second quarter. Xavier gets the ball back, trying to replicate what they did on the last drive. It was beautifully orchestrated, a long, grinding, grueling drive that is Xavier's classic brand of football. Keep the chains moving, ground and pound, good blocks, and ultimately find the end zone. And Kellenberg's formula on that drive was 3 huge plays to take them 60 yards from their own 30 down to the Xavier red zone. And ultimately, that ends up working for them. So it should be interesting to see if that's how these teams continue to play things out so far. Hastings has it held for him by Keeley. And back deep for Xavier. The 2 speedy guys of the offense, Manfredo and Salakis. So Xavier down 1. A little squib kick fielded by Manfredo at his own 25-yard line. Cuts it up. Has a block. There he is. Midfield before he's tackled a yard shy of the 50-yard line. Cole Manfredo gets up with a big-time flex. Adjusts the shoulder pads. Shoulder run. Manfredo. Well done. A couple big blocks, and Xavier set up beautifully at the 49-yard line. Another great job by the kick return team for Xavier. But, man, that was all Manfredo. Started right, cut it upfield towards the middle. and ultimately has that ball a yard shy of the midfield stripe for the Xavier offense. It is Vital and Manfredo to begin. They loaded up on the near side, which is left. Moving right to left, Salakis motions back. Vital right up the middle, picks up a block. Vital! Oh my goodness, he just ran a man over, still holding on to the ball. How is he still up? Pick up of 15. Oh my goodness, that is a ridiculous run. And then he stares down a couple Kellenberg defenders. Reminds the Giants fans of a rookie running back that they just watched for 7 weeks run defenders over. Whew, Marcello Vital putting on his best Cam Scattaboo. That was a powerful run. First down and 10 at the 35. Manfredo up the middle. Here comes the speed. Up to the 25. Cleared. A path to the 24. Pick up 11. First down. Xavier loves it. The chains continues to move down to the 24. And now Kellenberg calls timeout. They have to reorganize defensively. A big 2 plays for the Xavier offense. Vital and Manfredo, after a great return, have it set up inside the 30-yard line for the Knights. Kellenberg also forced to call their second timeout of the half, which in the long run means that they might have trouble marching down the field on the other end and scoring before half runs out. Kellenberg's defense breaks the huddle fairly quickly. Last time they used a timeout, it proved very effective. It kick-started the energy that they needed to march down the field, score a touchdown on their last offensive drive. Now let's see if their defense can stiffen up and get a stop. Xavier's going to go back into the huddle after the timeout. Up 1-7-6. Oh boy, I'll let the younger generation have their way with that. They load it up on the right side. Bunch it there. Salakis in motion. Manfredo fakes the give, runs it himself up the middle, shakes a tackler at the 20. Did the ball come out? Kellenberg's pointing like they have it. They do! Kellenberg gets the turnover. Manfredo could not hold on at the end of the run. Kellenberg takes over at the 25-yard line, and it's a second of 3 drives for Xavier that ends abruptly right around the Kellenberg 30. Another really well-done drive that is going to come up empty-handed, and the Xavier sideline knows that they just lost a massive opportunity to extend the lead. Now Kellenberg, with points of any kind, takes the lead. And this offense now has the ball and a chance to have another big play. Trainer comes out. Looks like there's an injured player on the Firebirds sideline. Can't see exactly who it is. Might be Andrew Wallabacher, who is doubled over and now hopping around on the Firebirds sideline. Hope he's okay. Well, it's not Wallabacher because he's out on the field, so I'm not 100% sure who that is. First down and 10 Firebirds, though. Fairley gives it. Running left, no gain. Xavier gets the stop. McBride forcing it backwards. Nice play by him. He was joined by Leo Etten on the front of that Xavier line. They get a big stop. Crystalis couldn't get it. Kellenberg goes hurry up here. No huddle. Second down and 1, though. But Xavier calls timeout. That's their second of the half to talk things over. Maybe they're trying to stop the clock and get the ball back for their offense before the half. Scoreboard still is the clock at 12 minutes, so it hasn't been run since the beginning of the quarter. So I'm not fully sure about how much time there is left in the quarter. But you'd have to imagine around the 2-minute mark because there's already been 2 lengthy drives so far for both teams. So this clock is, probably down towards that 2-3 minute mark. 2nd down and 10 for Kellenberg. Winner of this game punches their ticket through to the next round. Both teams trying to stay alive in the single elimination playoffs. Do or die, win or go home. Trick or treat, maybe, if you want to say, here on Halloween. Play has to be paused as the athletic training staff gets back to the Xavier sideline. Now Fairley's ready. He has Crystalis in his backfield. Fairley takes it himself to the left. Couple blocks, bounces to the outside of the 25, turns the field to the 30, keeps it moving and dives up near the 38-yard line. Pickup of 18 on the play. 1st down, Kellenberg. Couple of big blocks on the left side of the line, headlined over there by Baruidi, who we've been talking about. Basically that entire Kellenberg offensive line, because the Knights defense over-pursued into the backfield, thought it would be a run or try to get to the quarterback, and Fairley used that advantage, used it against the Knights. Just ran right around him to the outside. Takes a snap this time. Keeps it again to the left at the 50. Across it to the 49-yard line. Excuse me. Wrapped up there by Ryan Colgan. And a good tackle to keep Kellenberg to a gain of 9. And Xavier's coaching staff is letting him know that they have to do a better job setting the edge. And it's true, that's back-to-back runs to the left side there that Xavier wasn't able to contain. And at that time, you kind of want to force him back into the middle of the field so that your teammates can rally to the football. But if you just continue to let him work the boundaries, you're really looking at Fairley running home free, which is what he's done the last 2 plays. Knights crowd trying to make a little noise. Shovel pass on the end around to Wallabacker, who has the edge at the 40, 35-30, tripped up inside the 32-yard line. Andrew Wallabacker takes the shovel pass for 23. 1st down, Kellenberg. They move it and they go, hurry up. Fairley on the near side. Gives it to Crystalis. He gets tackled after a gain of 5. Xavier claiming that the ball came out. It ended up at the end of the day in Vital's hands. But timeout, Kellenberg to freeze the clock as that ball gets moved inside the 29-yard line. Another run from Crystalis that he couldn't break free, but again, good blocking by the Kellenberg front. A couple effective ones at that. Xavier up 1, trying to have their defense hold this lead. Going into the half, Xavier offensively, 1 failed 4th down conversion, 1 fumble, both on promising drives deep in Kellenberg territory, that even if one of those goes the other way, you're looking at a completely different storyline thus far. There is water, I'm assuming, blowing off the top of the broadcasting shack here, and the fans underneath don't know what's happening. It looks like water, but it is pouring out. A very windy day. I do not know what that is. So 2nd down and 5 now. Fairley fakes the end around, goes left, picks up a block. Fairley wrestled down inside the red zone to the 19. Vital finally made the tackle. Fairley moves it for 7. As the sun is setting, so is this first half, but Fairley goes hurry up to try and get this in before half. Crystalis bounces it to the outside. He picks up a block. There goes Crystalis. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Kellenberg. Doug Crystalis, after a costly fumble earlier, makes up for it with a touchdown, and the Firebirds have their first lead of the playoffs. It's a 19-yard touchdown run for Doug Crystalis, and it is a 12-7 football game with Kellenberg trotting out their extra point unit that already malfunctioned today with an opportunity to tack one more on. Actually, no, now they option to bring out the offense, so try and go for two to make up for the point they lost last time. Xavier can hold it right here at 5 with a stop. Fairley's in the shotgun, takes it himself, runs right, and he gets blown up. Oh my goodness, Leo Etten was all over it. Pounced like a tiger in the backfield. Conversion attempt, no good. So a wonky 12-7 score is where we stand. The Firebirds able to punch it into the end zone for the second time, but also fail on their conversion also for a second time. Xavier's offense has minimal time here to turn it around and try and get something going offensively. You're probably looking at inside the 30 for field goal range for Brophy, though even that's probably shaky, and it's a windy day. So not a lot of time to get into the end zone here if you're Xavier, but that's what you're looking to do, and you try and retake the lead here before half. Again, Kellenberg deferred, so that means Xavier got the football to start. Kellenberg will get it to begin the second half. Watch out on the return. Cole Manfredo's already been great today in that sense. So, should be interesting to see if Kellenberg tries to avoid it, kick it the other way where Salakis is looming. Both very speedy wide receivers on the kickoff return. It's another scrub, fielded again by Manfredo. He picks it up at his own 22, bounces to the right. Manfredo trying to work free at the 30 and gets all the way up to the 35-yard line before he is tripped up and dropped, and the Kellenberg sideline is loving it. Big-time tackle to hold the Knights there, and that's where the Xavier offense will take back over. The touchdown was thrown by La Squadro on a 4th down and 18 play. But other than that, it's Ben Vitale as the starting quarterback for this Knights offense, who, besides that one touchdown instance as the outlier, have run it every single snap of this game besides a forward shovel pass. Should be interesting to see how they work it with not a ton of time left on the clock. They have 2 timeouts here to go before the second half closes. 1st and 10 of the 36. Refs need to respot the ball for the center, Brendan Rudolph. Snap goes to Vitale. It's to Leo Etten. Backwards for a shovel pass to Manfredo, who's in open space, but a huge tackle from number 9, Finn Lavelli, to eliminate a big game. Creative play call by Xavier was taken right off the snap by Vitale. Ran it inside to Etten, who tried to backwards flip it to Manfredo behind the line of scrimmage. Xavier gets shut down. They do gain 2 on the play, but obviously not what they were hoping for out of that trick play result. So, at the end of the day, it's a missed opportunity. As Xavier goes into the bag of tricks, it does not work. 2nd down now. The bunch is to the far side. La Squadro back to pass. He rolls right, throws deep. He's got his man. It's caught at the 45-yard line, Quinn Salakis. Big chunk play. That's what we talked about. La Squadro coming into the game to throw it. Xavier goes hurry up at the 45, trying to catch Kellenberg off guard. Their defense doesn't look set. La Squadro has it again, fumbles the snap, regains, throws right, incomplete, looking for Leo Etten. It went right through his hands. Etten could not control it. The big 5'11", 220 man. Oh, I gotta tell you, is great in acting class. Couldn't haul it in there. So 2nd down and 10 now. Knights offense opts to start passing the football. La Squadro, the passing quarterback, mainly back into the game. He's thrown it twice in a row, so Xavier obviously trying to handle the clock that way, but a nice sliding grab by Salakis brought Xavier inside Kellenberg territory. Dual quarterback backfield. The bunch is to the right. Whistle blows timeout Xavier, though, before the snap. So interesting to see that they call their second timeout after an incomplete pass. Clock was already stopped, so not ideal. They can't take it again. If it's an inbounds tackle, they only have one remaining, I believe, in this half. So that is certainly interesting, but I guess the coaching staff deemed that this play was important enough, worthy of talking it over, making sure everyone's on the same page before they go. We'll take a quick break. 10 seconds, come right back. You're listening to Xavier Knights football, being broadcasted to you live on the Xavier High School live stream YouTube channel on Halloween evening. A football doubleheader, round one of the JV playoffs, followed by varsity's final game of their regular season. Two wide receivers to the near side of no one on them. LaSquadro back to pass. He's got to get rid of it. He's under pressure, just going to throw it away towards the sideline. Nice catch by one of the coaches, but LaSquadro had Salakis open on the near side with room to run, too, after the play, and just didn't hit him. And that is how the half will end. Xavier jumped out to the opening 7-0 lead. Kellenberg responds with back-to-back touchdowns, but don't get any conversions. It is 12-7 at the half of round one of the CHSAA playoffs. You're listening to Xavier High School football, streaming on the YouTube channel. It was an interesting first half, to say the least. The Xavier Knights, after nobody scored in the first quarter, took a 7-0 lead on a emphatic drive. Then Kellenberg followed that up with 2 touchdowns of their own. However, a botched extra point and a failed 2-point conversion leave them with only 12 points and a 12-7 5-point lead as this third quarter begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Aviator. Little halftime break, but I'm Josh Williver, being with you the entire night. We have the second half of this great JV playoff game, and then immediately after, keep it here on the Xavier Livestream YouTube channel for full coverage of the Knights' varsity game as they wrap up the regular season against the Christ the King Royals. A lot of football action to be held on a beautiful Halloween evening, but we keep it rolling here with the second half of this playoff game. Winner moves on. The Knights trying to punch their ticket to the next round and kickstart a championship run. Here we go. Second half is underway. Kick will be returned by Keeley. Goes through his hands. Picked up by Cooney at his own 3-yard line. And he cannot work it past the 22. Xavier had a couple of chances, but then they pound him right at the 22. Archie Devlin, among many, and Aiden Stack, the 2 in there for Xavier to pick up the tackle. Kellenberg will start on offense in the second half. First down and 10 from their own 22-yard line. The Knights defense played an immaculate first quarter, but then had a little bit of trouble in the second and gave up the 2 touchdown drives that we mentioned before. The wind begins to pick up a little bit more here. The flags across the field show that it's blowing towards the Xavier sideline right to left, so a little bit of southwest wind. It's a run right up the middle. Couple of shaken tackles there for Crystalis, who was an emphasis of that first half. Abruptly ended a Kellenberg drive that was deep in Xavier territory with a fumble, but then also has the second Kellenberg touchdown. So a mixed bag for him so far. Other than that, the fumble, though, he's been great. Another run to Crystalis. This time he gets blown up in the backfield. Couple of Knights there defensively. 45, Joe Zielinski with a powerful tackle. Like that English essay he was writing at the back of Miss Hen's class. Gets it done with urgency. Well done by Zielinski. Yes, he told me to shout that out. You're welcome, Joe. Third down and 5. Chance for Xavier to get off the field. Fairley's in the shotgun. The sun is setting. So is this game, and the Knights jump off sides. Leo Etten came across early into the neutral zone. That should be enough to move the chains for the first down. It was right at the 27-yard line, so it's right there. Looks like he's going to be short. The chains will not move until they do. First down, Xavier, a costly mistake by Leo Etten up front. It looked like it was a promising start to the series for Xavier with keeping up to third and medium. And Xavier gets a little bit of undisciplined action, results in a Firebirds first down. Let's see if Kellenberg can cash in, keep this drive alive. Xavier throws 4 at the front. It's a run to the left for Feely. Somehow spins out of a tackle, but then he gets planted. They had him wrapped up in the backfield. Then he escaped. Good tackle on the play by Z. Levy, who has had an interesting journey this year. He fixes Manfredo's shoulder pad as the team was in there on the tackle, but now there's a Knight injured, and it is, looks like Amir Dragovic, the kicker. No, that's that's Joe Zielinski. He's hurt. It's 45, not 15 now. The Knights sideline takes a knee as the athletic training staff goes out there. We'll take a break, come back as soon as we can. Zelensky up, walking off the field under his own power, favoring that left leg as he comes off the field slowly. So you gotta hope nothing but the best for Joe Zelensky, who just made a big-time tackle earlier in the series and now comes off injured. Hopefully he's feeling right. Interesting formation for Kellenberg. They got 3 in the backfield, not including Fairley. It's a run up the middle, and there they go. First down run. Brett Keeley lowers his shoulder. The Kellenberg sideline loves it. Pick up a 15 up to midfield. And it all started with a jump off sides on 3rd down. Now the Firebirds are moving it inside Xavier territory. They continue to play hurry-up offense, which is how they found their success moving the ball in the first half. Zelensky moving around on the Xavier sideline. Meanwhile, it's another run. This time the Knights are all over it. Keeley had nowhere to escape. Pickup of maybe a yard. Nice play by John Daggett and a couple others on that defensive front for Xavier. Second down and 8 at the 49-yard line. Another 3 sort of triangle look. It looks like a Dorito in the backfield. 2 receivers spread out, 5 at the line, 3 in the backfield. Fairley keeps it himself, gets hammered. 2 tacklers in on the play. Got driven backwards by 30. Thomas McGrath. Big tackle on the play. 3rd down and 12 coming up. Couple of big plays for Xavier. Tommy McGrath drilled him. 3rd and 12, loss of 3. Fairley got picked up and dropped. Knights Nation make a little bit of noise trying to urge their team on to a 3rd down stop. This time it's a bunch formation to the left. Fairley takes the snap, gives, running left, picks up the edge, 1st down and more. There goes Crystalis off to the races inside the 10-yard line. 3rd down and 11, pickup of 40 for Kellenberg. Crystalis magnificent today. After it was all stacked against them, we knew they were a passing team, and they have a huge run. Zay Levy comes off the field. He was on that right defensive end, and that was the side Crystalis ran right through to pick up 40. Kellenberg takes their time to get to the line of scrimmage. They have to catch their breath, looking to go up another touchdown. They already have a 5-point lead. Touchdown makes it a 2-score lead. Fairley in the shotgun. Is going to give it up the middle. No gain. Knights swamped him. About 7 guys all in there on the tackle for Xavier. Loss of a yard goes to 2nd down and goal from the 11. And this is big. Brett Keeley, who has certainly made his mark on the game, comes up hobbling. As I can see a glimpse left of the sun, but it is dim, and lights are on here at Aviator as we're about to get into some nighttime football. But again, Keeley coming up a little bit awkwardly is something you certainly have to keep an eye out for. Xavier really looking for a defensive stop. A big game changer it would be early into this 3rd quarter. Fairley and his offense trying to punch it in. Motions a receiver. Fairley rolls right. He's going to try and take off and run with it, and he gets tackled. Planted at the 10-yard line this time. Couple of big tacklers. Manfredo in there again. 3rd down and 10. Likely 4-down territory. Xavier trying to get the stop they got. They already got 1 turnover in the red zone. Can they do it again is the question. It's 3rd down and goal from the 11. Still early stages of the third quarter, but the difference between Xavier going down 2 touchdowns with no momentum and picking up a stop and keeping it to 1 score is about monumental as it gets in the third quarter. A receiver spread wide either side. 4 in the backfield again. Fairley pump fakes the snap, trying to get Xavier to draw it off sides. Crystalis in the backfield with him, as well as Sacheri. Fairley takes a snap, drops back to throw, throws left, he's got it! Touchdown! Finn Hastings! Kellenberg goes up 2 scores. What a throw from Braden Fairley. Knew where he was looking right off the snap, steered him down left, and Finn Hastings just beat his man off the line of scrimmage. Nicely done for the Kellenberg touchdown. It is an 18-7 lead now, with a chance to make it more with an extra point. And when you thought Xavier had a chance of getting that stop on the defensive end, Kellenberg punches it in for 6. They'll go for 2 rather again. Already have failed both of their conversion attempts. Fairley in the shotgun keeps it himself. And did he get there? He did. Reaches it across the goal line. Flag comes out after the play, but it is converted. And it's a 20-7 lead if it stands. Looks like the flag is going to go against Xavier. Knights Nation trying to implore Xavier on, but a very demoralizing drive for the Knights. Firebirds march down with vengeance. Xavier defense was going to run at them against their will, but could not stop it. And now it is turned to their offense to try and erase a 13-point lead. They got a quarter and a half-ish to do so. Again, you'll notice that the scoreboard on the bottom left of your screen is not working. There was some seniors from the varsity team running in the first half, but they had to go get ready for their game next. So you will not see a running clock, and you will likely not see an updated score for a little bit here. I will try to change that intermittently when I can. But Kellenberg gets to move their kickoff all the way up to the Xavier 45, so likely not a chance for a return for Manfredo or Salakis because of the flag that came in on the extra point. So Hastings, after making the touchdown grab, will get set to kick it off. And this one is fielded by Manfredo right about this 3-yard line. Cuts it up at the 20, picks up a block, he's at the 30, in open space, makes the kicker miss at the 40, to the 45. Oh my goodness, Cole Manfredo is electric. What a return. Puts the energy right back into the hands of the Knights. It is a kick of 40, a return of 50. Knights set up in plus territory, first down and 10 on the plus side of midfield. Well done by Manfredo. It's another good return. He's in multiple today alone. And that is an electric backfield, or rather return game for Xavier, that is. Kept them in this game for a sense. But now, looks like a block in the back might erase that. Referees look like they threw a flag on 44, which is Billy Murtaugh. So that is going to back the Knights up. So now it is all the way back to the 30-yard line after the Knights are going to have a 25 yards of field position erased from them. Snap from the 30. First down and 10. Vitale takes the snap, runs it up the middle, shakes a man, a tackle or pickup of 1. Marcello's looking probably for a horse collar tackle. He got brought down awkwardly right around the shoulder pad. No flag comes down. Second down and 9. Xavier, there we go. Now we got the scoreboard up at 20. Xavier is down by 13, and boy, really need a score here. Not let that hot Kellenberg offense get the ball back in their hands. A chance to make it a 3-score game, which, if you're looking at the fourth quarter, might be insurmountable. We have seen some crazy comebacks before. Xavier certainly has the time to do so. Got, again, around a quarter and a half. Now Xavier will break the huddle. There was a flag down, so it's first down and 15 after, I believe, an illegal shift went against the Knights. So first and 15, they get to reset the down. Manfredo hands to Salakis, cuts it back inside of the 30, makes 3 men miss before he's finally wrapped up for their gain of 7. Dancing and prancing like a reindeer for a couple extra yards, but good try on the trick play, but looked like Salakis slipped a little bit coming out of his break when he got that football. But nonetheless, Knights in a better place where they would have been if Kellenberg had declined the penalty at 2nd and 7 over 2nd and a long 9. So you get a little bit of plus there. You wonder when the Knights begin to think about bringing Matt LaSquadro back into this game to throw the ball, if they'll give Marcello Vitale, the quarterback, in there now a chance. Vitale takes it himself to the left. Pads clanking, helmets hitting, down to the 35, pickup of 2. Crucial third down coming up. Vitale's been a consistent runner today. It's been a lot of short yardage, ground and pound, and hammer offense. He hasn't really had that explosive play yet. But a crucial 3rd down and 5, you're likely looking at 4th down territory for the Knights, though they're in their own end. But again, approaching the beginning of this fourth quarter, you got to think that there's a time to make the move. Knights hopefully are hoping that they don't have to get their 3rd down and 4 conversion. They wouldn't have to worry about that scenario. Jump shift. Manfredo has it. Picks up a block from his quarterback. Manfredo cuts it back. He spins. First down yardage, 45 and beyond. Pio pushes to the 47. Nice run by Cole Manfredo, who has been a big portion of the Xavier offense so far. Gets it up to the 46-yard line. First down, Knights. Good play design to get the hot hand, as they would say in basketball. They continue to feed Manfredo, who has been consistent today in the best way possible for Xavier. They continue to feed him the football, and, well, it's working so far. Should be interesting to see if he gets the ball again. Salakis lines up as the receiver on the near side. Manfredo's in the backfield again. Salakis motions back. It's a run to Vitale over the right, but he got no gain. Brett Keeley says, I'm all right. He was hobbling earlier, but he makes a big play. Clamp Xavier right where they are to bring up a 2nd down and 10. Wind has died down here at Aviator. The temperature's falling a little bit, though, because of that sun, which has gone off the horizon now. We're looking at pink skies over to the right, but no more sunshine, so it's a night game from here on out officially. 2nd down and 10. First down brings Xavier into Kellenberg territory. So, Manfredo fumbled the snap, gets it for a gain of 3, though. Oh, my goodness. Big hit after the play. Kieran McBride's wondering where the heck the flag is. He just got drilled after the play. He was not involved with it. He just got tackled for minimal apparent reason. Refs don't deem it a flag, although there was an official right there to help McBride up. So that's a little perplexing. It wasn't an offensive player finishing his block on a defensive player after the whistle, which is legal. It was just a defensive man spinning an offensive guy down way after the play. And that is going to end the third quarter. Xavier goes into the fourth down 13. They need a big drive to get them back in it to begin this fourth quarter, and they're going to have to do it quickly to keep their playoff hopes alive. We'll take a break, come back. One more frame to go after this. Xavier will move left to right in this fourth quarter. It's snapped from their own 49. They need the Kellenberg 44 for a first down. They're looking for 5 yards. Vital and Manfredo have been the majority of the Xavier offense today. They're in the backfield. Salaka's motions right to left. Strong sides left. Manfredo gives Salakis end around. Does he have the yardage? He does. Picks up an edge. A late hit out of bounds. It's a photographer. Salakis is confused why there's no flag. And here we go. Pushing and shoving. Now they're going at it. Flags coming down everywhere. It is an all-out brawl. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Aiden Stack came in there and laid the wood. And then Archie Devlin came in and followed it up. A lot for the refs to sort out right now. The athletics director's on the field, and the fans are upset too. Oh my goodness, that got ugly quickly. Oh boy. It all stemmed from what looked like a late hit on Salakis that wasn't called. We still don't even know if he picked up first down yardage yet. They have not moved the chains. That got heated. Refs still figuring out where the flags are going to be assessed. If Xavier ultimately gets penalized, that would bring up a 3rd and 16. Still don't know if it's a first down on the yardage or if it's 3rd and inches. It looked like from here Xavier had it. Let's see what the officials come out and say. Nope, they get back together. They need to talk it over more. Still no signal, so we shall wait. We know there's going to be one flag, and it's going to be a dead ball foul on Xavier. And it's offsetting penalties. And number 9 has been ejected for Kellenberg. That is Finn Laval, who will not be returning to this contest. Yes, he was the one who originally hit Salakis. It's definitely not number 9 for Xavier. Sean Brophy, the place kicker. He did not get ejected during that altercation. So it looks like Laval's night is done. The officials head over there to break the news. Xavier huddles up, try and get their energy level up, and rebound from a 13-point hole. Early stages, fourth quarter. Looks like it's mostly sorted out now. As the teams break the huddle to go back to it. Well, here's a development. Oh, no. Excuse me, I was looking down at my sheet. I thought Finn Laval was in the game, but he is not. So Valerio checks in at running back for Xavier. That's interesting. Salakis with a big third down play to pick up first down yardage. Chains haven't moved yet, but the down marker says first. And we are still sorting things out, just as confused here at Aviator as you are at home. Xavier offense has broken the huddle, but the officials haven't spotted the ball. They haven't stopped huddling. They haven't stopped discussing the flag. Still no indication, and now here we go again. The officials go over to the Kellenberg sideline, still trying to find some clarity in this peculiar situation. Probably a little annoyed if you're a Xavier because you had a drive that had some energy to it. Obviously, the fight's going to add some tempers, but at that point, you're feeling good about yourselves, and here you go with a 5-10 minute stoppage that just kills the momentum of the drive. Xavier ends up with the extra 15 yards that got Laval ejected. So first down and 10 at the Kellenberg 29. Xavier gets the play across midfield. Chains still haven't moved. That's what we're waiting on now. Oh boy, this is a mess that I think we may actually be able to play some football within the next 30 seconds. Officials had to clear everything up, get back to their assigned positions. Sticks are set at the 29. Xavier needs the 19 for a first down. Here we go, finally, after all that was sorted out. Valerio into the game for the Knights. Marcello and Manfredo back there for Xavier. Direct snap, Manfredo gives to Salakis. Right to the left now, picks up a block. There goes Quinn Salakis. He is end zone bound. Dives. Touchdown, Xavier. No, he's marked down at the 1. Quinn Salakis, a 28-yard run inside the 1-yard line. Officials will huddle up and discuss if he broke the play, and he went Superman mode looking for the pylon. An explosive run by Salakis. They say first down and goal at the half-yard line. I am almost certain that they call this short. The scoreboard has changed to show touchdown. And now, yeah, it does look like first down and goal because the extra point try would be from the 3. That looks more like it's at the 1. So I believe this is first down and goal. Xavier looking for a touchdown. Aiden Valerio joins Vital in the backfield. Snap is to Vital. Runs right. He is in. Touchdown, Xavier. They're within 1 score, and they're right back in it. Great drive. 2 big runs by Salakis. The one to the near side that started an all-out brawl. The one to the outside that gets the Knights inside the 1-yard line. And it is put an exclamation mark on it. Vital's 1-yard touchdown run. Offense stays out there for a chance at the 2-point conversion to try and go for it. This would cut it to a 5-point game. Currently, it's a 7-point game. Vital and Valerio back there again. Snap is to Vital. It's the exact same play and the exact same result. Marcello Vital into the end zone with the octopus. 8 points, 2 plays. Marcello Vital as the Knights crowd energized. Xavier back within 5 points. Kellenberg had the momentum. The pendulum is right back in the other direction. Huge, huge, huge drive for Xavier. Things are looking up on their side of the field. Down 5 now. It turns back to the defense, who was a rock in that first quarter, struggled a little bit in the second, giving up 2 touchdowns. But now is their time when they can make a crucial stand, try and get the ball back, give the offense a chance to take the lead. Amir Dragovic to kick it off and get this thing restarted. Cooney back to receive. Well, that's a low squib kick fielded at the 40-yard line, and Kellenberg just dives on top of it. Cross between a squib and an onside kick proves to be ineffective for Xavier. Kellenberg dives on it at the 38. Knights Nation making a lot of noise trying to cheer on their defense. First down and 10 Firebirds. Ball at the 38. Kieran McBride, Olaganju, Gonzalez, and Detton, the 4 up front for Xavier, trying to make a big impact here. Fairley's in the shotgun. It's a run up the middle. Big hole! There goes Kellenberg. Brought down by Valerio all the way at the other 40-yard line. Pickup of 20. Crystalis again. And now there's a Xavier man hurt. Looks like he's holding his shoulder. I can't tell who it is. It is another injury. Medical staff out to check on him. We'll take a break, come back in a second. So it was Cole Manfredo, the injured Knight, probably the most impactful Xavier player today. He heads to the sideline injured, a strong two-way player who comes up hobbling, and that hurts for the Knights. A couple of substitutions, Ryan Colgan, Luka Vuksanajan, Olaganju comes to the sideline. First down and 10, Kellenberg at the 40. Big play started off the drive. Fairly fumbled it, somehow got it away, and another chance for a run. Big time for Crystalis. Brighton Fairley fumbled the snap. Xavier had a chance to get him in the backfield. Couldn't. Couple of hands on heads, couple of sighs from the Knights sideline. Thought they had a big chance to come up with a turnover. Crystalis continues to dominate this Knights defensive front. They need some run stuffing here to try and keep them in it. Clock continues to wind. That's what Kellenberg's looking for. We don't have an exact reading on the time because there is no clock operator right now. Referee blows the whistle to stop play. Another whistle. They gave Crystal his first down yardage at the 32, but the ball was snapped around the 40, so I'm not sure that is perfectly accurate. Yep, referee's going to back it up to put it as 2nd down and 2. I was exactly right. So, yep, Kellenberg needs the 40. Ball is at the 32. Or, excuse me, Kellenberg needs the 30. Ball's at the 32. Xavier trying to pull off the upset, pull off the comeback, rather, on Halloween night. And again, it starts with a big defensive stop on an important series. Fairley's in the shotgun. Has Crystalis next to him. Fairley motions across his receiver. Going to take the snap himself. Fairley spun around and dropped in the backfield. Lost a yard on the play. Couple of nights in there. Big time tackle for Xavier by 77, John Daggett. He makes a big play to hold Kellenberg to 3rd down and 4. It was a loss of 2 on the play. Fairley tried to do it himself. He could not. There's another miscommunication or a little bit of trouble with the snap. Coming near side is Hastings, who's already caught 1 touchdown. He's got a one-on-one look if Kellenberg wants to attack it. Oh, Xavier jumped off sides, but they were able to get back on. Fairley settles down his line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 4. Huge chance for Xavier. Can they get the snap they've been needing? Fairley with Crystalis in the backfield. Takes a snap. It's a fumble. Ball's on the floor. Xavier thinks they have it, but a flag is down. It's going to be a false start. False start. Xavier had the stop. They had the turnover. They call a false start, but you can't decline it because it's a pre-snap penalty. That is a huge call. And a false start backs up Kellenberg. Wow, Xavier had a chance. That's the 3rd mishandled snap of the drive for the Firebirds. Xavier pounced on it, but it gets nullified by a false start. That is an undeclinable penalty because it's pre-snap. Ref blew his whistle prior to the fumble. It's a pre-snap penalty. 3rd down and 9. Kellenberg with a little bit of extra life. Xavier already got the turnover, but it got waved off. Can they get the stop? Fairley, back to pass, looking for options. Slings it deep. It's caught inside the 20-yard line. Brennan Cooney, a huge pickup of 22 yards. 1st down, Firebirds. After Xavier had the chance at the stop, they forced the fumble, but to no avail. Kellenberg gets a big-time pickup. Things are looking up on the Firebird sideline. A huge momentum swing again. Xavier would have had the ball down 5 with time to work. Instead, Kellenberg is deep in Xavier territory with a chance to respond. Or rather, to extend the lead. First down and 10 all the way down to the 16. Fairley takes the snap to Crystalis, who has a hole. Crystalis right up the middle, shakes free of a couple tacklers. Gets tackled at the 12-yard line this time. Pickup of 11. First down, Kellenberg. Xavier's sideline trying to make a couple bit of noise, but they know that allowing a touchdown here would put their season in jeopardy big time. There's a penalty on Xavier, and that's going to move it half the distance till the goal. So the Firebirds all the way up around the 4-yard line now. Xavier continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Things are not going well for the Knights right now, with their season on the line in these one-and-done playoffs, if they can't pull through right now. Fairly a chance to give his Firebirds a double-digit lead. Xavier trying desperately to force a turnover. Can they do it? First and goal from the 4 with Crystalis in the backfield. Fairly takes the snap. It's a Griv. Crystalis right up the middle. Did not break the plane. Stopped 1.5 yards short. Good tackle by Billy Murtaugh to get in there and make a big play for Xavier. Second down now, but Kellenberg continues to wind that clock. A lot of stomping, a lot of banging from the Knights sideline trying to get a stop. Kellenberg has 2, most likely 3 tries to put up 6 here. Fairley's in the shotgun again. Second down and goal from the 2. He takes the snap. It's a fumble. Ball's out on the ground. It looks like Kellenberg recovered it. Third down. Xavier, another chance to recover a fumble. They can't do it again. Woo, fumbled snaps are the story of this game for Kellenberg. They continue to get away with them right now, however. Another chance to fall on one. Xavier can't do it. Brings up third down and 4 now, so if nothing else for the Knights, you would have loved the turnover. At least it's a loss of 2 at the minimum, but obviously not the result they were hoping for. Third and 4, chance to get a stop. 2 stops is really what's required. The touchdown scorer, Hastings, has a one-on-one on the outside. Fairley just stared it down. That might be where this football's going. Fairley takes the snap, fakes the give, is going to run himself. He's in! Touchdown, Kellenberg! Braden Fairley caps off the drive with a 4-yard touchdown run. And the Firebirds have a 26-15 lead. Xavier's sideline is stunned. 11-point Kellenberg lead. Chance to make it 13. Braden Fairley has worked hard on the ground all day long and now is rewarded for it. They'll go for 1 here with Hastings to try the extra point. This was a failed operation last time they tried it on a muff snap. Another high snap. Fairley's going to have to roll out, throw, caught for 2, but a flag's down. He was definitely across the line. Let's check the marker, though. Looks like it might go against Xavier. We'll see. Referees huddle up. But regardless, the big-time storyline of that drive is a 2-score lead for Kellenberg. And they continue to dominate this Knights defensive front in the second half. Two-point conversion is good. Penalty was against Xavier, and the yardage, will be enforced on the kickoff. Lead goes up to 11 now, and Xavier is truly down to their last gasp. This is going to be a tough one now with a couple of scores needed for Xavier. The good news is Coleman Frady, who has played a huge role today, kick returning and on offense as well, is back there to return a kick after he was injured earlier in this game. So that's a positive for Xavier. Kickoff will be from the 45 again after the penalty. Manfredo, Salakis, heels on the end line, or And it is Hastings to kick it off for Kellenberg. The Firebirds defense with one stop likely punches their ticket to the next round. Likely moves them on to round 2. Hastings with a strong kick into the end zone for a touchback. No return. Ball will come out to the 20. Xavier with one last chance. Interesting to see if and when they start throwing the football. Lasquadro is still on the sideline. We know he has been the most successful passer today this season. Reminder that after this game, we have full coverage and play-by-play, as well as video live stream feed of the Knights' final varsity football regular season game as they take on the Christ the King Royals. So stay tuned for coverage of that and so much more here on Halloween evening. JV is their season on the balance. A Knights team that has battled through adversity all year. They played well, started their season with a 4-1 record, have lost 2 of their last 3 games. Manfredo takes it himself on a run. Bodies pushing to the 31. Xavier has to continue to have this clock run, but this was a hard-fought season for Xavier, and obviously it's not over, but you're looking at a tough hill to climb to get back in this game for the Knights. A score, a stop, and another score. Looks like about 4 minutes is what they're saying is how much time left in the game. Flag against Kellenberg will move the sticks for Xavier first down all the way to the 31-yard line. Kellenberg, their season was a 4-4-1. They went 2-0 to begin things, but then 4 of their last 6 they dropped. So this would be a big-time rebound for them to also move up in the standings. Marcello Vital is a big-time hole. He picks up first down yardage to the 43. Knights first down. They got to continue to move quickly. Taking a lot of time to get this play call into Quinn Salakis, who then delivers it to the huddle. First down at their own 44-yard line. Xavier continues to run it, although the clock's not on their side. Referee blows his whistle, though. Not sure what the call was. Maybe the ref just an official's timeout. I have no clue what it was. Seems like the clock had to stop for some reason or another. The ball wasn't moved anywhere. Still first down and 10 at the 43-yard line. The strong side is near. Vital turns, hands to Salakis around the left. A little bit of misdirection. Salakis hits the edge at the 50, continues to churn things up near the 44-yard line, bumped out of bounds, but not after a big-time pickup of another 15. Xavier moves the chains, picks up another first down. It's another promising drive. Question becomes, can they cap it off? Lasquadro into the game now. That's big. Xavier's top passer. It's a 13-point deficit that the Knights are going to have to rebound from. Kellenberg looking for a stop, would all but ice it. Xavier continues to try and look for the end zone, look for the response. Lasquadro back to pass, rolls right at the 50, throws high for Valerio, incomplete. Almost a chance at an interception for Brennan Cooney. Pass was way high for Matt Lasquadro and incomplete. Second down and 10 now. Clock does freeze because of the incompletion. Matt Castro into the game for Xavier. The 5'6" running back. He's loaded up on the right side. Snapped from the left hash mark. LaSquadro going to take it himself up the middle. Makes a couple people miss. Falls to his knees and slides around the 38 of Kellenberg. Pick up a 5 to set up 3rd down and 5. 100% 4-down territory, so that's not something you worry about if you're Xavier in terms of the down markers. Nice sideline hopping around in this do-or-die playoff game. Can they come back? Would be a comeback of epic proportions if they pulled it off. Still a lot of work to be done, though. And not a lot of time to do it. Castro comes off. Valerio and Manfredo back. It's a run up the middle. Vital shakes free, lowers the shoulder. Big hit up to the 27-yard line. Shoulder pad first for the quarterback, Marcello Vital, who puts down an emphatic hit trying to set the tone for the Xavier team. Fresh set of downs at the 27-yard line. Chains move. Xavier pumps this drive up, continues it. Now they go into the hurry-up offense. Rudolph was looking for an official to set the ball. Another dual quarterback backfield keeps the Firebirds on their toes. Manfredo motions left to right. Snap is to Vital. Vital runs right, picks up a block. Vital inside the 20, down inside the 15, run out of bounds around the 18-yard line. First down, Xavier. Chains move. Back-to-back first down runs by the quarterback, Marcello Vital. Knights continue to try and go hurry up. I believe he was forced out of bounds, so that should have stopped the clock. But nonetheless, Xavier going hurry up. They loaded up on the near side, now inside the red zone. Looking for a touchdown to get him right back in this game. LaSquadro hands to Manfredo around the outside. Picks up a block. Flag is down. It's going to be an illegal block in the back. It is going to go against 70 Max Shop, who was caught trying to seal the edge for Manfredo. Probably came in from the blind side, and yep, it's going to go against Shop. Back the Knights up 10 for 1st and 20. Now they're stuck in a sticky situation. Shop came in and put a pretty big hit on. Refs deemed it illegal, however, and said that was not going to be allowed, and now both teams will break to their sidelines for a timeout. We will take a break. Step aside. You're listening to Xavier Knights Football live on the YouTube channel. First down and 20 for Xavier after the illegal block by Max Shop. Xavier back. LaSquadro going to look to pass. Has to get rid of it to the near side. Boy, he got clobbered in the backfield by Gavin D'Alessandro. 6'1", 180. Put all of his weight into that one. Pass incomplete from LaSquadro. Just had to get rid of it so he wouldn't take a hit. Xavier now begins to get aggressive in the passing game, but is it too little too late? 2nd and 20. LaSquadro comes off the field. That's maybe just to get the play because he's back on. Boy, it looked like the Knights had a nice concept drew up there. Couldn't cash in. LaSquadro back. Manfredo fumbled it. Picks up the ball. Luckily, he is able to keep it Xavier's possession. wonky handoff between the two that was not completed successfully. Squadro had trouble getting it out for Manfredo. Timeout Xavier ahead of a crucial 3rd down and 20. They tried that play call a lot, the run to the outside for for Manfredo, but it hasn't necessarily been working out all the time. It seems like Kellenberg has been able to figure out when it's coming in, make a play on the ball. Etten checks in for Valerio, but at this point there is not a lot of happy faces on the Knights sideline. And in a couple more minutes' time, this one is going to blow final. The question, can Kellenberg hold their 13-point, 28-15 lead here on Halloween? Manfredo's in the backfield this time with Vital. Vital takes the snap to Etten. Another pitch on the outside. For Manfredo. Flag is thrown, and it's going to back Xavier up again. Going to be, a 3rd down and 30 now? It's going to be 2 holding calls on Xavier this possession. As the Knights continue to move things in the wrong direction. 3rd down and 30. That marker just continues to get backed up. The original line of scrimmage was the 18. Knights need the 8 for a 1st down. The ball will be snapped from the 28. Manfredo off the field because Kellenberg declines the penalty. So 4th down and 15 is the play. They don't accept the penalty. 4th and 15 for Xavier with their season on the line. This is it. La Squadro's in the backfield. A stop for Kellenberg means they're moving on. Xavier wants to keep their season alive. As they like to say, this one's for all the marbles. La Squadro and Vital both in there. La Squadro takes the snap. He's back to pass. In trouble. Floats one up to the end zone. Intercepted. And that will do it. Michael Imperiale picks it off. And that is how this game is gonna end. La Squadro looking for a prayer to be answered. And the Knights are gonna fall short on Halloween and have their playoff hopes go down the drain. Again, another good pass rush from the Firebirds of Kellenberg. Got him into the backfield, caused havoc. La Squadro did not have time to survey and make a decision. He just had to float one upstairs. And that is likely going to be the knockout blow for the Knights. Kellenberg can feel it on their sideline. They are moments away from moving on. There is a flag down. Kellenberg's coach seems unhappy, so we'll have to sort that one out. Still no ruling on what's happening here yet, but at the end of the day, it'll back Kellenberg up, but nonetheless, the interception stands. And so the Firebirds are not going to care very much. A couple running plays should be the end of things and end this. Nobody is, interestingly enough, guarding one of the Kellenberg wide receivers who is all by himself, and that is number 2, Brennan Cooney. So if they swing it out, Xavier has the ball back. Oh my goodness, so they called 1st down Xavier. I completely misread the room. Xavier, the flag was on Kellenberg. So Xavier's offense is back out there. I was completely lost. I beg your pardon. So Xavier's offense has the ball back now inside the 10-yard line. They call a timeout after the run to Vital. Things still not looking good, but I guess there is still a glimmer of hope left, at least with possession of the ball rather than on defense. And a timeout, Xavier. Stay with us. Xavier can pick up a first down here right around the 3-yard line. Snap from the 6. So 2nd down and 6. Or excuse me, rather 3. Another dual quarterback set in the backfield. Snap from Rudolph goes to LaSquadro, who fumbled it, picks it up, and now just has to take the sack. Another mishandled snap. LaSquadro got dumped for a loss of 7. 3rd down and 10 now. 4-down territory again, but that's likely not going to change much. Xavier's got to go. Hurry up. Marcello going to run it himself up the middle. Maybe picked up a yard. I believe Xavier's out of timeout, so it's 4th down and 9. Another chance for Kellenberg to get off the field and end the season, and end Xavier's season, and try and advance. Their sideline is jumping around. They're looking for one more stop. Manfredo's in the backfield this time. Snap goes to Manfredo. He's running right, picks up a block at the 10, towards the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Xavier. Cole Manfredo does it. There is some life in this Knights team. Manfredo, a 10-yard touchdown run, or rather 13-yard touchdown run. It was a long drive from Xavier, but eventually they get the 6 they wanted. They pull within 7 and send the offense back out to go for 2. 28-21, Xavier has a chance late in this 4th quarter. Vital and Valerio in the backfield. That shut the Kellenberg sideline up just a little bit. Vital going to take it himself. Did he break the plane? He's right there. Yes, he did. Xavier brings it back to within 5. It is 28-23 now, and this game's not over. Likely Xavier lines up for an onside kick here, but nonetheless, they grab the 2-point conversion. So an 8-point possession for Xavier, and this game is not yet over. Yeah, it looks like this is most likely going to be an onside kick try from Amir Dragovic. Teed up at the 40. I'd have to go 10 for them to recover, unless they want to kick it off and play defense. But with no timeouts left, you are probably looking at have to be an onside kick. They load up this right side. Timeout Kellenberg. They try to get organized before the kick. Smart by the Firebirds. Got to make sure everything is organized up to the max. Have everything in the perfect position. Have the guys where you need them to be, because this is crucial. If Xavier recovers this kick, they certainly have a chance. If Kellenberg takes it back, I believe there's 24 seconds left in this game. Again, the game clock on the scoreboard's not running, so this is all just stuff I'm overhearing from the field. So the latest I have for you is 24 seconds remain. Xavier a chance if they can recover. The Firebirds are going to want to keep their season alive with a recovery. 5 on either side of the kicker, Amir, and that ball gets blown off the tee. You don't want a holder on this because it eliminates probably a person who's able to recover the kick. That's interesting. They're going to force Aiden Stack to hold, so he's going to have to get up and try and recover quickly. This is it. If Xavier can recover the kick, they got a chance. If not, this is probably Kellenberg's game. It goes to the right. It's up. Xavier has a chance on it. That ball is free. Kellenberg looks like they have it. Referee's trying to uncover it. Kellenberg has it. Amir had a nice kick. It gave Xavier a chance. And the Knights were not able to recover. And that is most likely going to do it. Fairley's going to bring his offense onto the field to shake hands after a couple kneel downs. But after this knee, that is most likely going to do it. It was a hard-fought game from Xavier. They had a chance with a late touchdown by Manfredo. But some hearts shattered tonight on the Knights sideline. They fought through adversity all season. But it looks like this is where it will come to an end. Kellenberg lines up in the I formation with 2 receivers near side. And that is going to kneel it out. And that is going to do it. The Kellenberg Firebirds are moving on to round 2 of the CHSAA playoffs, and they knock off the Xavier Knights in round 1. 28-23, your final score from Aviator. The Knights have their season ended in what was a hard-fought game, but ultimately Kellenberg comes out on top. Keep it right here for full coverage of the varsity game. We will see you then.